Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about my day 2 in Japan, and specifically my day 2 in Hokkaido, Sapporo. So day 2 after a long day of flying across to get to Sapporo. We started the morning fairly early, so the sun was up so early, probably at 4:30. It was so right. When we woke up, I thought it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, thinking, oh yeah, let's get up and things. And I checked the time and it's only 4 o'clock. But all of us were already awake, thinking it's like early because we didn't close the blind, thinking, we'd wake up when the sun wakes up. But yeah, it was 4:30 in the morning. So went back to have a bit more of a sleep in, and then kind of got out of the hotel at around 9 o'clock to look for something to eat. And then we found this lovely cafe around the big streets, which is called Cafe Ramban. And we had our most important thing in the morning, toasts. So Japanese toasts, for those who don't know, are the best just because they're thick, fluffy, and so soft. So that's why we have Japanese toasts. My dad had just the plain ones with butter, a boiled egg and some jam. I think I had the egg sandwich. Somehow I took a blurry picture of it, but that's okay. Which also had like some cucumbers in it, which was very different. Usually they're just plain eggs, but the cucumbers actually added a bit of that extra crunch and freshness to it. I know some people don't like cucumbers, but it was a very nice idea. And it wasn't like, the wet, soggy ones. I think they patted it quite dry. And then my mom had like a chiffon cake, chocolate chiffon cake for breakfast, which, yeah, we really enjoyed. The tea was good. I had hot chocolate, which I couldn't complain about. So yeah, definitely was a really good breakfast to start our official first day in Hokkaido. And then basically we went around and walked to a train station to get to a park. So our goal mainly to go to Hokkaido was to see the last cherry blossoms in Japan. Some might not know, but obviously Japan's famous for their cherry blossoms, and this year they came earlier than we thought, sadly for me, but we still managed to see some. But we thought it's best if we don't go when it's too busy, because it'll be so crowded, too many people. We don't like that. So we thought, let's go to somewhere a bit further, such as Hokkaido, which we've been before and we wanted to go back anyway. So we thought, oh, let's just go in spring. And so yeah, we decided to go there to see the last cherry blossoms, because it's in the north, so it's a bit colder, like I said, and so it did take a bit more time to bloom. Sadly, maybe we were a week late or 2 weeks late. A week late, because the blooming lasts for a week, so we're probably a bit late by a week. But yeah, we still managed to see some. So on Japan, as in like, if you've got weather forecasting, you've also got cherry blossom forecasting. So they've actually got the website on their weather forecast website that you can check out when the cherry blossoms are flourishing in all areas of Japan, and when's the best time to go, and if the season has passed and things like that. So they will update this quite often during that period of spring. I'll pop the link there if you can have a look. You can kind of Google translate it, or your web browser can probably Google translate it, and still is decent and fairly easy to navigate. So yeah, I've done that, and the last remaining parks that still had some cherry blossoms, one of them was called Nakajima Park, which is a few stations away from where we stayed at. So we took the train and got there. when you first get to the entrance, you see a cherry blossom tree. So the first one, we're like, oh great, there's one. I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna ask for more. Took loads of pictures with myself, the family, the tree itself. We just took loads of pictures of it, and then went around. They had like a little map that said, oh, these are where your bins are near the cherry blossom picnic areas. So we're like, oh, okay, so this must be where there's still cherry blossoms. So we were gonna check it out. There was some just on this right side of the park we wanted to check, and we're like, oh yeah, that's not too bad. There's still some flowers around. I'll put pictures of it, but you can see a lot of them have kind of fallen off already. But we were still happy with it. We took loads of pictures with it, thinking this was the last tree we were gonna see. Like every tree was the last one we thought we were gonna see. So yeah, took loads of pictures there. Probably the people were like, why are you taking a picture of this tree? There's probably a bunch that we didn't know of further down the road. Anyways, we kept taking loads of pictures of it, and then we kept walking around. I don't know, I think my dad saw someone walking onto another area, so he kind of followed that person, not in a negative stalking way, but he was just curious. So yeah, we went into this kind of little forest. There was all these cool trees, and then in this small parking lot in a corner, you see this huge cherry blossom tree, and we were just in awe of it, just how pretty it looked. And yeah, we just again stood there, took pictures of it, took pictures of ourselves, selfies, whatever you can think of to take pictures of. So we took a lot of pictures with that tree. I'll just put maybe the best ones. And then we did also we filmed a bit of how the cherry blossom petals kind of flew off the tree. It's hard to see on the video because every time we try to film it, the wind's not blowing, but when you stop, it just starts blowing everything off. Another thing that I've taken a photo of is I don't know how you, those sinkholes, I'm not sure what you call those, where they've got different kind of motifs on it in every kind of city you go to. So yeah, I just took the one for Sapporo there, and I'm sure I've taken a few more, and I'll pop it on to this videos as I go along. But yeah, we spent like a good, I would say, half an hour just taking pictures of this tree because there was no one else. And there was probably a couple around there as well, but it was just the three of us and then the couple. And then we walked further up, and there was another kind of a forest with all these really tall trees, with like a really nice wooden path. So yeah, just took pictures of it, kind of breathing the fresh air in Hokkaido. We could see like a little shrine above that forest, but we didn't really go there. And then we went back to the main park, and they've got a shrine there as well. So we went there, had a look at it as well. They had like a cherry blossom tree that was the same as the one at the entrance on the side. And then I did this thing called an omikuji, which is basically, I guess, just checking what your luck is in different things, drawing your luck, because they had it in also an English version as well as a Japanese one on the back. So yeah, my luck wasn't that great, to be honest. So what you do when your luck is not that great, and you want to get rid of it, is you tie it up to this little kind of wooden thing, and then they'll kind of clear your luck, I guess. So yeah, not the greatest luck, but it was fine, you know. So yeah, as you walk along the end of this huge walkway or corridor of trees, we also bumped into a squirrel, which we thought was very interesting because I don't see squirrels here very often in Australia. I see lots of birds, but not squirrels. So yeah, we took a video of that. And then as we went in, we saw loads of people sitting around like in a picnic area, and that's when we saw, oh, this was where all the cherry blossom trees were. And yeah, it was, you know, not in full bloom, but you still could see the pink, the decent pink of the cherry blossoms. So yeah, again, we kind of took so many pictures of that, and it was probably about, we were probably there for about 2 hours in. So yeah, and they had also other trees as well that were pink. I'm not sure if they were kind of different kind of cherry blossoms, but yeah, we just took loads of pictures of all the trees. I will put the top pictures in there because I know you don't need to see all of them, because some of them look probably the same to you guys, and I needed to clear my phone anyway, so I'll choose the best ones. But yeah, you can see it's pretty good, can't complain, you know, it's free, and you can see, you know, it wasn't crowded, so you could actually take pictures properly without having people at the back or next to you or things like that. So yeah, it was lovely. The weather was great as well, not too hot, not too cold. It was sunny, no clouds at all in the sky, and yeah, very, you know, chill. And this was like, I think a Tuesday or a Wednesday, so it was during the week, I guess, so it's, I guess, not as busy. And you had people sitting down having a picnic, and there's on the side there are some stalls where you could buy food. They had things where you could, you know, play games and win prizes. It was kind of like a mini festival of some sort. So yeah, very cool. And then they had those weird flowers that were on a stick. They looked like they were on a stick. It was like cotton candy. I'm not sure if they're cherry blossom, but they looked really cute, so I'll put pictures of that. We've had just, you know, some oden. We had some snails. I forgot their actual names. It was alright, you know, I just wanted to try them. We had sausages. Yeah, lots of little bits and pieces to eat. Nothing of a big meal kind of thing for lunch. So yeah, trying to get my parents to take good pictures of me was hard. I took good pictures of them, but then just me, it's, you know, it's just generation gap. They're just missing the point. So yeah, we struggled a bit with that, so that's why we spent a bit more time on there. Took pictures with all the petals that were on the floor as well. Like you can see are like falling off really quickly. I think just like one wind blow and then like 100 petals probably fall, if not more. So we took probably about 300 pictures that day of just trees. Anyways, I think, is it, oh actually sorry, it's not Nakajima Koen, that was Maruyama Koen, and then the one near the hotel is Nakajima Koen. So we went to the first one first, and then by the time we left, it was probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time we left, we went back to Nakajima Koen, which was closest to us, and we thought, oh, it's just be easier, you know, once you finish walking, you can just go back to the hotel and rest, and that's it for the day. So we took the train again, and then the Nakajima Koen is actually quite big as well. You've got like a little lake or pond, it's probably a pond where you can like rent a boat to row around. There's like duckies around it. Again, it's one of the last places also they said that had the cherry blossom, so I went to look for that. We saw a random tree next to the pond. Great, took a picture. Also took a picture of a Vulpix vending machine just because it had Pokemon on it, just because you don't see these kind of cute vending machines around in Australia. And then yeah, again, lots of people were actually at Nakajima Koen taking wedding pictures, which actually I didn't see in Maruyama Koen. but I guess maybe there's a pond kind of thing. But yeah, we saw at least 3 different couples taking wedding pictures there. And I can see why. It's got, you know, the pond, the cherry blossoms, the greens, snow clouds. So yeah. And then I think there is like a wedding dress, like you can rent wedding dress or try wedding dresses near the area as well. Maybe that's why. So yeah, really cool. So loads again of cherry blossom trees, taking pictures with loads of them. The only thing with this one is obviously you can see buildings because they're literally just next to hotels, so you can see a couple of buildings around there, which is fine. It adds a bit of that extra bits there. And then they've got like, I think there's an area where they do concert, like there's a concert hall there, and they've got like literally a blue building that really stands out next to the cherry blossoms. So this is the blue building. I forgot what it actually is. I'm sure I can find out online, but if you see this right in front of the building, I'm sure I've got a photo somewhere, there's some cherry blossom trees, so we tried to take pictures of that together. And then again, because the weather was so good, we tried to kind of get the reflection of the cherry blossoms on the pond as well, although it was a bit hard because the water wasn't quite as still as you can get it, but we still did manage to get a couple of pictures of that. 2 pictures of little duckies, and then you could see all the petals as well on the pond, you know, flying off after falling down. So it was really pretty. Again, not a lot of people around. Like there's some, but you're not, you know, overly crowded. It was nice. So yeah, and then not a lot of tourists, surprisingly. Maybe Japanese tourists, but not a lot of like foreign tourists. Like some, but not as much as probably Tokyo and things like that. So yeah. So basically we went to the wrong side of the park first. I guess it's not right or wrong side, but we went on that one side of the park. We went onto the right side of the park, and then by the time we kind of walked around and went back, you know, it's a big circle. By the time we came back, we finally saw where the main cherry blossom trees were, and there's again a whole corridor of it, which I'll show you a picture of, and yeah, there was still quite a bit, but again, not much left there, and it was beautiful, really beautiful. Again, we could see a couple taking pictures there as well. I'm sure they probably Photoshop extra bits of cherry blossom onto it. But yeah, really close to our hotel. Literally, you cross the road after the red light and then walk another street and that's it. Very close by. Anyways, for nighttime, we didn't really know what to eat, but we were kind of starving. And then we decided to get crab, or Kani, which is famous also in Hokkaido for their king crabs. So we went to this place. I forgot its actual name. I don't think I've got the Japanese name, but I don't know how to read it. But I'll put the picture of it and I'll try to find its English name, but it only specializes in crab basically. And so the menus are just crab. Thankfully, they've got English menus, and so basically you can choose a different kind of set menu, and depending on which one you choose, depending on which price range you choose from, you get X amount of things. So I believe we chose the lilac one, and maybe the Suisun one, I think. So yeah, really good, like really big portions. By the end of it, I was so full. So yeah, you start off with like appetizers. There's this kind of like egg tofu thing that was so good. Like it's got crab meat on top. It's got kind of like a broth. The broth was so good. It's cold, but yeah, really good appetizers to start with. Had sake with my dad with it. And then you get some sashimi crab that you can dip into soy sauce. And then you also get some boiled crab or steamed crab. I don't know what you call it. What do they call it here? Vinegared queen crab. And then you also get grilled crab. So the grilled one is actually the king crab, and the boiled one was the queen crab, which is slightly smaller if you see on the pictures. And then we had like a hot pot, or not really hot, a small hot pot. It's not a big hot pot with crab in it, crab gratin, crab tempura, crab sushi, and crab hand-rolled sushi. So we were full by the end of it. And you had dessert as well, like oranges, slices of oranges or something. So yeah, it was probably the one we ordered, the lilac, was 12,000 yen, so $120 for one person. It might seem a bit expensive for some people, but think about it, it's all crab, so it's all seafood. I don't think in Australia you can get something that cheap for all crab, right? I think one crab is already maybe $200 depending on its size and things like that. So this was pretty good. We couldn't complain about it. Really good fresh meat. And they have different floors as well, and you sit in a very traditional kind of tatami style table. So yeah, very good food, very good environment. Everything came out quick. Nothing to complain about, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, that was our day 2 in Sapporo, Japan. Hope you liked this video. You can check out my Japanese haul as well, that I've done in 3 parts, and you can also check out my day 1 in Japan for this trip back in May. If you've got any questions, make sure you put some comments on this video, and yeah, make sure you look forward to day 3 of my trip to Japan. Bye guys!